Right, there we go. Managed to get the screen on. I make sure everything's working. Right, there we go. Managed to get the screen on. Okay, microphone's working. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Okay, so welcome to the stream. I probably should have done this as a recorded video, but oh well. I'm going to be reacting to a tier list from CrashTheSkylands. So it's been I did watch this before, but it has been a while since I have watched it. I don't remember this tier list being particularly great. But I thought it made good content. I could react to it. I could talk about some of the placements. Provide my own feedback and stuff. I will be pausing this video throughout, by the way. After I finish the stream, I will update the description and have a link so you can watch this original video if you want to watch it in full without any interruptions. But before any ado, I'm going to go full screen and we're going to start watching this video.
Greetings, fellow Poltermasters. On October 4th, 2018, I uploaded every Sensei Ranked on the channel. 5 years later, oh my god, it's been 5 years. I've got so many hate comments and people ripping me to shreds that I've decided to do it all over again. However, I have learned from my mistakes.
Alright, you decided to redo it all again. Let's just see how it is.
And I know this time I should actually play as the Skylanders, so I dedicated an entire series to it.
Keep that in mind, guys, when we get a bit further into this video, okay? He's decided to play as the characters this time.
No, honestly, Half Hour wasn't made just to try all these Skylanders again, but I mean, it helped. After 5 years, I'm ready to give this another go, and I've got thicker skin now, I swear. As always, I'm CrashTheSkylands, and this is every Skylander Sensei ranked from worst to best, revisited.
All right, guys. I've already seen this. I've already seen this video before, but so I do remember who's at number 31. But if you guys haven't seen this video before, try and think about who is at number 31. Like, try and think about it. Just try. It's someone who's actually pretty good. Pretty good character at number 31.
But this is my first video since I announced my semi-retirement, so you legally have to be nice to me. I looked up the rules on the internet, and
He's funny. He's funny. He's funny.
Said you have to be nice to me to this one. So, yeah. This video is a long time coming, so I apologize if you're still not a fan of what comes up for the list, but this is accurate to me actually playing as them, and of course, my personal opinion. So, like all of these videos, if you don't agree with me, that's perfectly fine. You're more than welcome to leave your comments below, but you have to be respectful. 5 years, I'm ready to give this another go, and I've got thicker skin now.
Sorry, guys.
I swear.
Went back a bit.
As always, I'm CrashTheSkylands, and this is every Skylander Sensei ranked from worst to best. But this is my first video since I announced my semi-retirement, so you legally have to be nice to me. I looked up the rules on the internet, and said you have to be nice to me to this one. So, yeah. This video is a long time coming, so I apologize if you're still not a fan of what comes up for the list, but this is accurate to me actually playing as them, and of course, my personal opinion.
Accurate to me. Kitsune. Kitsune.
So, like all of these videos, if you don't agree with me, that's perfectly fine. You're more than welcome to leave your comments below, but you have to be respectful. Just like the first time I did this video, literally the first video I ever did for ranking, I said be nice about it, and most people were. But of course, everyone was already part about the chaos thing. Don't worry, he's in it this time, okay? So, like, shh, you're all good, okay? Alright, let's get into this. Let's get this started. I'm very excited to bring you the updated list of every Sensei ranked, including chaos. So, let's get this started. But be respectful, alright? To not only me, but to everyone in the comments. Talk to you in a little bit, which is literally 2 seconds.
This, yeah. He's not being very. Oh, we kind of got it spoiled there. But he's not being very respectful to these characters. But make sure you're respectful to this video, okay? Don't give any hate towards this guy. This guy's opinions are not great, but respect his opinions regardless, right? No matter how wrong they are.
Number 31, Bad Juju. Even though this list was created before the Villain Lock and Imaginators, Bad Juju is still at the bottom of this list, as even after all these years, I never once figured out what is great about her. Using Juju Jr.
I mean, alright, this guy like hasn't really played this character for more than 20 minutes. Let me just talk about why this character is so good. First of all, this character has some of the best stun locking in the game. Period. If you just hold down triangle and then release the triangle button, or if you're on Xbox, it's the tertiary attack, right? So whatever button is assigned to the tertiary attack, you just hold that down a little bit and then you release. And you just keep doing that over and over again, and the enemies cannot move. You do insane amounts of damage, and you could just lock down an entire group of enemies very easily, and you can freely move about while you're doing this as well. She's just extremely easy to use. And if you call back Juju Jr., you get brief invincibility, which is very powerful. It does require a little bit of timing. So you do have to be quite observant. But if you do utilize that ability well, she's extremely busted. Very, very strong. Let's see what Crash has to say about this character, though. Since he's played as the character quite a lot, I imagine he's got quite a lot to say about it, right?
to do dirty work only works
To clarify, that was a joke.
in very limited situations, and her only viable move is the Whirling Blaze, which makes her instantly vulnerable to everything else around.
Okay, the Whirling Blades. If you played as Bad Juju, guys, you would know that the Whirling Blades is probably her worst attack. So he's got that completely mixed up. This is her least significant attack.
Around her. As always, I always feel like the constant comment will be that I'm not using her correctly, but after 8 years, I think I know what I'm doing.
You don't. You don't know what you're doing. He honestly doesn't, guys.
Oh my god, it's been 8 years since Imaginators has been released. Number 30, Hoodsickle. So for the many people who adore Hoodsickle, I still think he is kind of just bland compared to everything else that came out of Imaginators. A lot of people can vouch.
Okay, low-key, not wrong. Hoodsickle's moveset is very basic.
For Hoodsickle and how great his moveset is, but what I see is a bunch of combinations attacks that nothing really sticks out to me. Getting used to his moves like Gravity Well can work great in any situation, but when you focus mainly on the Scythe move to get you out of the same situation, it's hard for me to tell how great Hoodsickle is. I feel like if certain things were fine-tuned up throughout the game, then Hoodsickle could be way higher up on the list. I mean, there is a reason he made it to the final 3 in Skylar Survivor.
Okay, I haven't seen his Skylanders Survivor series. I'd imagine he just goes through the whole game as like a Nuzlocke, right? Yeah, I think you could do that with any sensei, pretty easily because the level layout usually isn't very hard. I think the sensei shrines probably would be the thing that gets you, if anything, outside of maybe the Doomlanders. Yeah. Um, yeah, Hudsicle is kind of mediocre. He's not bad, but he's not great, right? He's very middle of the pack. I don't like him that much, but he's not bad. He's definitely decent, but very middle, very middle character. Next, Robo. Ooh, okay, let's see what he's got to say about Robo.
Number 29, Robo. They say money can't buy happiness. Whoever came up with that quote must have bought Robo for the outrageous price and realized how actually boring this Skylander is. When I mention Robo on this channel, there's always two.
Okay. No, I just want to say, guys, I don't really care about the actual price of these characters. Because like these characters obviously didn't cost, like £450 or like £300 or whatever price Robo goes for nowadays. I got him at retail price, because I got him in the actual stores when he released, right? I never had to pay these outrageous prices for Robo. I think judging a character based off of what resellers are willing to put him at on eBay is kind of silly. I think it's just silly to, diss a character just because of their market price. I don't know. Maybe that's a hot take. I'm not sure.
Different responses. The first being people who adore him for some odd reason, or the second where nobody can afford to play as him. Well, dear viewer of the latter, you are not missing out at all. As his arrows are the only really useful weapon he has, you won't even care to use his.
Oh my god. Another character where he thinks the worst thing they have is their best ability. Oh man. I can't, bro. I honestly can't. Of course I think he's on Arrow Mastery as well. Yeah, so yeah, he was doing the arrow combos in the video. Yeah, he's on the top path. Oh boy. Oh boy. Like the best way to use Robo, guys, is to go for the bottom path. If you go for the bottom path, you got the lasers, right? And you can like bend them around and you can tag multiple enemies. And then you can also do his drill attack, and that that does work really well as well. It basically plays like Wrecking Ball from Spyro's Adventure, if Wrecking Ball was any good. Like even in the first game it was included, right? Yeah. Robo's really cool for multiplayer as well, because like how his debuff works is it just increases the amount of damage the enemies take. It doesn't actually increase Robo's damage specifically. So that means if you're playing in co-op, like player two or whoever the other player is playing as, they actually do benefit from Robo's debuff. So if you're playing co-op specifically, Robo is actually low-key like an amazing support character. Um, like the only other character that really works like that is like the bounty imaginator. The gunslinger imaginator. If you you would go with the soul gem ability. That also does have the same effect as Robo's deconstruction laser, so that works really well for you. Um, but yeah, Robo is really good. The only real issue with Robo, honestly, guys, is the fact that he plays like Wrecking Ball. Uh, that which makes him pretty awkward to use, but also extremely fun, at least in my opinion. Um, but yeah, guys, is Wrecking Ball is Robo worth his price tag though on the marketplace? Honestly, guys, no. But is he worth the retail price that he was worth when he came out? Hell yeah. I would say hell yeah. He's definitely worth it. He's really fun to play as. I would say, guys, if you're like me and you're very compulsive and you don't mind dropping like a stupid amount of money on a single figure, I would say go for it, because even if you decide to sell Robo later, it's not like you're losing money, because you could just resell him for whatever price people are selling him at, right? And some sucker will pick him up from you, most likely. So, if it's not, I know I shouldn't be encouraging it, but he is good. I think Robo's good. I don't think he deserves to be this low just because he's expensive.
Exactly the same deconstruction laser move, and the even more odd whirling destructomatic, which so many other Skylanders have done it better. Hey Skylander devs, if you're going to make a Skylander worth over $1,000, make sure he's actually worth the price next time, okay? Thanks.
Yeah, Skyland developers, next time, can you please, not make the character cost $1,000? Have the foresight to tell the resellers that no, you can't sell this character on eBay. What kind of take is that?
Number 8, Crash Bandicoot. As much as it hurts me to put him
Crash Bandicoot.
this low on the list, I can't let nostalgia hit me, as Crash Bandicoot might have everything the classic Crash fan will love, but in the world of Skylanders, it just doesn't work as well as you'd like it to. There's a reason Crash comes out with multiple lives, as you will
He's just doing a belly flopping against a fire mage.
sadly need them. Unlike Night Shift and his multiple lives, Crash Bandicoot has very low health, and you'll be taking a hit way faster than any other Skylander on this list. I do love playing as Crash, as it now reminds me of his playstyle in Crash Team Rumble, but it doesn't make him any better in Imaginators, as he is way better in the aforementioned game.
Wait. This guy played Crash Team Rumble. This guy played Crash Rumble. That's a PlayStation 1 game. This guy actually likes Crash Bandicoot, but he doesn't know how to play as him. Like, that is crazy. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, he should be using his second. Yeah, he should be using his secondary ability, where he creates all the crates around him. Or is that the tertiary? Can't remember. Anyway, he should be using the crate move more, because that move's really good. I don't know why he's not using it very much in the video. And he should be spinning way less. Like, why is he spinning in front of enemies, bro? Against ranged enemies, no doubt, as well. Like, enemies that you can't dodge at close range. I don't know.
Glasses, I'll be seeing you soon enough, though.
Who's next?
Grip,
That's right. Ooh,
stability, precision. That's the essence of driving. Lawfin.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Number 27, Airstrike. Although when Airstrike comes into play during a playthrough of Imaginators, I never get upset, I just can't look past how kind of generic he is. Airstrike is a basic brawler Skylander, and if you're comparing...
Did he just call Airstrike generic? Generic. I don't know, I can't think of many characters that are basically, like a 2-in-1 character, right? Fighting alongside each other, doing synchronized attacks. And like the whole concept of like one of them goes up into the air, basically your entire moveset changes. And you basically send out like an airstrike down onto the enemies, like in a dive bomb attack. Like that's pretty unique concept for a character. Like, what does he mean by generic? Does he mean like the play style's pretty generic, where you're just punching enemies? Like, I guess I don't know. This is like one of the more unique characters in this game, so bit of a odd take, but oh well. Let's try and hear his justification why this character's low, though.
...to the other brawlers of this game, even your created Imaginators, you can see all the flaws he holds. Now, using Birdie as a brawling weapon is an interesting and unique choice, but Tree Rex did the same things 4 years prior in Giants.
Is this guy for real? Tree Rex? Does he mean the soul gem where the bird just automatically attacks for you or something? The only comparison you can make there is the fact that that you got the bird, you got Birdie with Airstrike, right? And then Tree Rex also has a bird. I mean, how this incorporates with the character is completely different. I mean, the bird on Tree Rex is not even in the character's figure art. Like what kind of take is that? They don't even behave similarly.
So when Airstrike was released, most people compared him to literally one move with a vastly superior Skylander. How unremarkable.
Guys, I'm gonna get some hate for this, but I honestly don't care. Tree Rex sucks. He's terrible.
Can you be that you were compared to a 4-year-old Skylander and lose? I'm sorry, Airstrike.
Lose. He's so funny, bro.
Number 26, Aurora. Aurora's insanely fast when it comes to her moveset. It's so easy to pop from one side of arena to another and set up some light burst swords in between, but, well, that's kind of it. Aurora's only really memorable as being Master Yon's niece. And for the 5 of you who didn't know that already until now, there's your fun fact for the day. Aurora is very much overshadowed by her other light Sensei counterparts, more on him later, so when your key feature is how
she's overshadowed by arguably the best character in the game. Let that sink in, guys. She's overshadowed by the best character in the game. That's why she's low on the list. Okay. I think Aurora's pretty fun to play as. The only issue I have with Aurora is she's like too combo centric, and the light sword attack is not great. I haven't really found that many uses for it. Like honestly, guys, the light sword attack probably needed a bit more range, or at the very least, the explosion was prolonged quite a lot, so you could actually benefit from it actually slowing down the enemies. I do think she is good though. There's probably characters that are upcoming that she's, I would say, easily better than. Although, to be fair, I don't blame her being this low, considering that Crash put her on the bottom path, which is objectively not great. So, I don't know, man. I think he should have tried, like, both of the paths before he did this video, because, like, for each character, because I've noticed that Bad Juju was on the top path. That's her worst path. Hudsicle, I think his bottom path is a bit better. I don't know what path Crash was on. I think he was on the top path, if I'm not mistaken. Again, bottom path better. You know, this character, Aurora, you want her on the top path because you want the combos. This is like a character that actually does want the combos. So yeah, I think he should have tried both of the paths for each character. I think the list probably would have looked substantially different if he actually did review all the paths.
That's basically it. I can't say too much to save you now. Luckily, you have the family name behind you, but that doesn't mean much when you are overshadowed by your much more famous grandfather. Number 25, Kingpin. Now, you're probably surprised to see a starter pack Skylander this low on the list, but as I mentioned...
I'm surprised to see Kingpin specifically this low on the list. Let's see his take.
Before, years after it came out, so many other Skylanders have had a lot more to offer than Kingpin. Even though Kingpin has trained so many of the Skylanders you know and love, most of them have improved drastically over Kingpin, as his moves seem very straightforward, but not improving much over the upgrade you acquire. When you first get the game, Kingpin is a fantastic starter to try out, but surely later on, once you get other senseis, you can see why Kingpin places where he is. Number 24.
No, you didn't even talk about why the character's bad. No. No. You can't just say the character is a Star Pack character and then just move on. Like, what? You didn't even talk about the character, the hell? Okay, let me talk about the character since CrashTheSkylands didn't want to. I don't know why. Yeah, you put Kingpin on the bottom path, guys. You can collect these things called ice shards, right? You collect these by just using your dash attack. So you dash into these ice trails that you leave behind, either from doing a ice dash on the bottom path because it creates an ice trail, or you can do the ice breath, which basically does the same thing, and you don't need the upgrade to do it. Or if you don't want to do the dash, you can also just punch the ice trails directly as well. Both work. But each time you do that, you actually collect ice charges. And the level of ice charge you have will be indicated by the level of glow he has. So if you are at ice level 1, you've only got like a little bit of glow. Ice level 2, you'll have more glow. And then Kingpin will be fully glowing at level 3. And depending on how many ice levels you have, when you hold down the ice breath ability, Kingpin will actually unleash a ice level move. So at level 1, he creates this ice barrier. This is available as a very early upgrade, and it's pretty bad. But at level 2, he creates a blizzard where he rains snowballs down. These do considerable damage, but you almost always want to go for level 3, and this is where you crash down the massive iceberg. Level 3 is very strong because it combines the blizzard and the iceberg abilities together, and these are very, very strong because you're just doing insane amount of damage, and the knockback on the iceberg is pretty insane as well. If you just evade the enemies a little bit and work your way up to a level 3 iceberg, you can pretty much just solo all the enemies because most of the enemies will either get ringed out or they'll take so much damage from the iceberg and the blizzard that they'll just die, like just straight up die. Kingpin's like insanely broken. He's just him. But CrashTheSkylands again. He picked the wrong path on the character. Common trend, I know. Let's see what he's got to say about Chompy Mage at 24. This is when the placements start getting a bit better, I guess, because they're not literally at the bottom, but still.
Or Chompy Mage. Started from the bottom, now we not that far off from the bottom. Chompy Mage may have been considered the worst during my first copy of this list, but since Odyssey Half Hour, Chompy Mage has improved, and I adore playing as him. But even with that, Chompy Mage is still kinda good compared to the rest. Making your Chompies do your dirty work throughout is a great idea in context, but if you're forcing minions to do your work while you do very little else, it's hard to justify putting Chompy Mage any higher on the list. I'm just glad now that when I finally have to play as Chompy Mage, I'm not grinding my teeth because I finally see that he's actually not that bad at all. Plus, I do a deadly Chompy Mage impression. It is I, the Chompy Mage, and you're not a Chompy, so I don't like you.
At U-Switch, we protect
dear,
you
we're going
from
out.
rising household bills. U-Switch.
I'll talk about that in
we
a
put
sec.
you first.
When so these
Number 23, Ambush.
Okay, we'll pause it here. Now Chompy Mage. I don't really have much to say on Chompy Mage that he hasn't already brought up. But he didn't talk about the other path at all. Bottom path's pretty good, guys, because you gain the ability to slow the enemies down with the shrubberies, and these are pretty strong. The top path definitely does more damage. Chomp of the Chomp, definitely more damage in path, but Master Puppeteer is still worth considering just because you gain the ability to slow the enemies with the shrubberies. These shrubberies still do decent damage, not quite as much as upgrading the chompies themselves, but still decent damage. And definitely worth considering, especially for regular enemies. I think Chompy Mage is pretty good and pretty fun to play as. I don't think him relying on minions drags him down. If anything, it drags him up because minions take away the enemy's aggro, and that means you don't have to be as observant around the enemies, right? Because very few of them will be actually aiming at you. It just makes it a lot easier to deal with the enemies. So I'm not sure why he thinks having minions makes the character don't feel as great. I think it's the opposite. I think it just makes the character more fun because you can just overwhelm the enemy. That's just me. Yeah. We'll move on. I'll talk about. Let's look at Ambusher.
Okay, so not everyone who I said in the original video needed a second chance means they'll do well. Ambush is a fine Skylander to play as, especially with his hack and slash moveset, but man, the other sword-bearing senseis in this game make Ambush look, I don't want to say horrible, but I also don't want to say good either. Ambush has the honor of being the first ever sensei I ever played as months before release at Toys R Us, and all I can remember from that is exactly what I remember from him now. He's a fine Skylander to have in your roster, and I'm never upset playing as him, but I can tell you that the other senseis have a way more impressive resume. Number 22.
I don't think Ambush is bad at all. I think he's really good. I personally don't separate him very much from Wildstorm at all. I think they're pretty much neck and neck. Now he didn't actually use the. Now he did use the path that you want to use for Ambush. Which doesn't surprise me because the top half for Ambush basically does not do anything at all. It's so bad. All it does is give him new moves, which are all trash, and you never want to use them ever. The top part, the bottom half with Ambush is definitely considerably better. Now, what you want to do with Ambush, guys, is you just want to do the tertiary, like pretty much over and over again. And the reason why is because the bamboo that circles around him, this acts as a barrier. It doesn't actually prevent any the damage you take or reduce the amount of damage you take, but it does stagger the enemy, and that is pretty good because it basically just allows you to infinitely combo them and they can't fight back, which is kind of crazy. That's definitely Ambush's greatest asset. The only issue with Ambush, really, guys, is he's not got great group attack damage. You know, his group attack damage is pretty mediocre, and that definitely is an issue. But I think he's very good. Very good character, definitely.
2. Tri-Tip. Look at me not being biased and putting Tri-Tip in the top 5 just because he's a Triceratops. Now, while I personally love playing as Tri-Tip, I can see the flaws for everyone else who doesn't wear their 3-year-old glasses I do and don't just see a cool as heck dinosaur. Tri-Tip has one of the best melee weapons in the game with his mace, but looking at the other two moves, the Dino Dash and the Fossil Traps, it gives me more light into why he's mostly looks and nothing else. I still love playing as Tri-Tip, and I'll always have seen.
Guys, I just wanna bring up. It's interesting that we haven't seen the other Smashers yet. I think Tri-Tip is easily the best of the Smashers. I think the other two Smashers are. I don't want to say they're crap or straight up bad, but I don't think they're good either. Definitely towards the bottom. I don't know why Tri-Tip is this low. I feel like Tri-Tip should be higher, especially considering we haven't even seen the other Smashers yet.
Myself mostly using the mace and occasionally using the Dino Dash, while literally never ever using the Fossil Traps. You could say that I've made.
The Fossil Traps are really, really bad. I will give him that. He said it. He said a good take. It only took 8 minutes into the video, but he's finally said a good take about a character.
That move. Extinct! Okay, so you're waiting for me to make a comment about his soul gem, right? Well, I feel like that would be too soon. Number 21, Chaos.
There. Are you happy now?
Now you can all stop asking me where Chaos was in the original list or where I would put him afterwards. However, you're now literally confused as the most powerful character in the entire franchise, probably, is only at 21. That's why. If a character is severely overpowered, it doesn't make it fun.
I just want to mention, guys, this is a clone of Chaos. It's not the actual Chaos. So this is not the most powerful character in the franchise. So just want to talk. Just wanted to bring.
Now his moveset is insanely cool, where it mixes in every Chaos you've known and loved or hated throughout the 6 years and games, making you want to continue to play as him. But I cannot look past how Chaos is just himself in this game, and I'd rather play as more unique characters and Imaginators and leave Chaos to be beaten by me at the end. Yeah, I still have my weird...
What kind of take is that? Chaos is arguably the best character in the franchise. What kind of take is that? Why wouldn't you want to play as Chaos? Like, Chaos is awesome. He's awesome. He's got the same voice actor as Invader Zim. Chaos is cool. He's cool.
Reasons. Just be happy he's on here this time. Number 20, Wolfgang. He may have had a huge jump since the original list, and Wolfgang is one of the most fun Skylanders to play as, but compared to everything that is to come, Wolfgang is just kind of there. Now, since I've learned how to use him properly, that doesn't mean he is something I want to keep coming back to, even though I still think Wolfgang's Sky Chi is the best one out there. Most of the archers and Imaginators are kind of bland.
His Sky Chi is okay. If you want to say it's the best one because of how cool it is, like, I don't really have a bias there. You can have that opinion. But the best Sky Chi in terms of damage, nah, there's better Sky Chis out there. Definitely.
Compared to your custom-made Imaginator, Wolfgang is one of the better ones, even if he's not the best one overall, in my opinion. Number 19, Chopscotch.
This character straight up fucking sucks. I'm sorry, guys. She's bad. Why is she this high?
Chopscotch has the honor of being the first variant I owned when Imagination first got released, and I felt like I gave her candy-coated version more love than the original. Luckily, the gameplay is exactly the same, but sadly, that's not a great thing. Chopscotch does have a unique moveset with her insanely awesome X, but that's kind of her one and only great thing. As you all probably know, I adore her ability to play the game of hopscotch and get a speed boost by doing it, but I just can't overlook her very mediocre third move that you don't even know what it is unless you looked it up. Go ahead, try me.
I will try you. Okay, third move is the move where she throws the skull. So you can throw this, it will slow down the enemies, and it will also make it so all the enemies, you can do guaranteed crits against them. If you hold it down instead, she will throw a head minion helper, and this will just do continuous damage. It's basically just an invincible minion. And if you do the charged axe hit on it, it will actually explode and do a lot of damage. I think that's called Headsplosion. One of the most annoying moves to do on any Sensei, by the way, because the charged axe attack, she doesn't like to aim for the minion helper. She likes to aim for the enemy that's closest to her. And this is really problematic because this makes it really annoying and hard to actually line up the attack so it actually causes the explosion. Because the explosion does a lot more damage than the actual charged axe hit. Oh, this character is so annoying to use. I mean, you have to rely on head minion helper as well in order to take down some of these enemies, because if you and you need to find an opening to do it too, because it's a pretty long charge and she constantly moves while you're charging it too. It's like, I don't like it. I really don't like it.
Number 18, Dr. Crankcase. So many of you love Dr. Crankcase, and man, it's hard not to see why you all do, as Cranky is such a unique moveset compared to everything you've seen previously. When the enemy gets too much, send out the Hatbots to do your dirty work while you stand back and shoot them down with a goo. Plus, when you get too close for comfort, you can start hitting him with the Spin Doctor to clear them out around you. I remember fighting him in Trap Team and wondering how good he would be if I could control him myself. Wait, what do you mean I could control him in Trap Team? Since when? Number 17, Blastertron.
Okay. Blastertron is kind of yikes at 17. Let's talk about Dr. Crankcase. Dr. Crankcase should definitely be higher on the list. Yeah, I have a feeling he doesn't know how to play as Dr. Crankcase because he wasn't doing his Soul Gem ability, like, at all. Yeah. I don't really have much to say on Dr. Crankcase other than he's not playing him right. Let's see what he's got to say about Blastertron.
I'll be honest with you. I had Blastertron in the same spot Aurora was in. And I don't know why, to be honest. I guess I forgot how insanely great Blastertron is. Here's another fun fact of the day. I finally know what the move where he curls up into a ball does, and that's another reason why he's climbed so far up. Setting up a hologram field and slashing everyone away with the Saber Slash that not only hits close-range enemies, but shoots a laser directly into the next target, he has one of my favorite tropes, being able to fight things close and farther back. Looking back, I really don't know why I originally had Blastertron so low. Oh, right.
I still don't know why he's so low.
I'm an idiot. Number 16, Golden Queen.
But yeah, guys, I think both paths for Blastertron are pretty good. I personally prefer the bottom path, which is the, I think it's called Brighter Light Show, something like that. Top half, I think, does a little bit more damage just because you can just keep charging the primary attack and do all the lasers around you, because that move gets a damage buff on the top half. And then you also got the random laser beams as well. You can just you just do a lot more passive damage on the top half overall, but the bottom half I find to be more fun because it improves his like tether rockets and it makes it significantly more viable. And you also get like the rocket boost as well. So when you're holding down the circle button, you get this like jet fuel around you, and it's pretty fun just to damage enemies with it. But more importantly, the energy barrier, it'll actually grow in size. And when it grows in size, it also can explode as well once you reach its limit, and this will stun all the enemies. I find both paths are pretty effective. The bottom path is more fun, in my opinion, than the top half, because the top half doesn't really do anything super fun. But both paths are very viable. But yeah, I think Blastertron is just easily the best character of the game. He's so broken once you know how to play as him. He definitely has a bit of a learning curve just because of the sheer amount of moves he has in total. But
Now, I didn't count this, but this might have been the biggest increase in the rankings from the original. Golden Queen is insanely fun to play as, and Pokepotvin must have known something I didn't because this is probably his favorite sensei in general. Using the golden scarabs to set up an area and then take them out with a golden shockwave and attacking everything around you with the winged scarab main attack? What did I miss the first time around when I played as her, as this could have been the most fun combination of attacks I could have used in my entire time with her. Although 15 more senseis are better in my opinion. Oopsie.
Okay, I personally don't think Golden Queen is that fun to play as. My biggest issue with Golden Queen is honestly her pretty pathetic damage, and also the golden scarabs. They're not golden scarabs, golden guards. Yeah, the guards. These are just not very good they just very weak. They basically have no self-preservation at all. They will just, like, as long as they're within range, they won't actually move. So enemies will just run up to them, mow them down in a single hit, and then you have to do the very long summoning animation again to get another one in. They're just not worth summoning because they just don't do enough damage before going down. So yeah.
It wasn't about right or wrong. It wasn't about survival.
Number 15, Buckshot. For some reason, you don't believe how great Buckshot is or how much fun I had giving Buckshot the best chance to sign, you need to go back and watch my Honesty Half-Hour episode with him where I realize how insanely fun he is once you get the hang of his movesets. Using the portals to shoot your arrows through to take out enemies or to get yourself from one side of arena to another is overpowered enough, but the fact that Buckshot makes it so enjoyable makes it even better. I'm really glad that years after making the original list, Buckshot had his time to shine and shows that he's totally worth your time. Now, if they only released Heartbreaker Buckshot, then he would be even more sought after. Number 14, Ember.
Okay, Buckshot, both paths are very viable. There's not really much to say about Buckshot. He is a very complicated character. You create poles, and you shoot your arrows through them, and yeah, it does take quite a while to get used to, but he is a pretty fun character overall, I would say. Not the most effective character, but fun. Definitely fun.
Hey look, a fire element sensei on this list, only 14 entries in. That's insane! There must be something decent about them, right? Well, yes, the fire element is very well represented in Imaginators, and Ember being at 14 is odd to most, as Ember is one of everyone's favorites overall. Now, Ember does have one of the best movesets in the game where she is extremely well-rounded, but I can't deny her overall health issues, just like Crash Bandicoot. Ember has an ability where if she gets defeated, she gains a shield for 10 seconds and has a chance to survive longer. And as I mentioned in the Crash entry, having an ability to help you not stay fully dead is not a great thing. But everything else about Ember, chef's kiss.
Okay, so I haven't actually shown this off in a video ever, but I've been informed by someone that with Ember, if you take her off the portal power and then you place her back on the portal power, even during the same level, you will regain the ability to become invincible for 10 seconds upon being defeated. So essentially she's invincible. Yeah, she's kind of broken, if you account for that. Although that feels like a cheat or an exploit, so I don't really factor that in too much. But yeah, Ember's very good. I would say she's easily the strongest sensei in terms of overall damage. She has the best Sky Chi in the game, and as long as you avoid the bottom path with the supernova, it's actually a very viable attack, because if you fully charge it and then you double tap the supernova button again after launching it, you can actually get a second explosion as long as you aim at a different enemy. It's kind of like Robo with how you do it, with like kind of like bending the beam. You got like kind of similar strategy.
Number 13, Dr. Neocortex. Remember earlier when I said Golden Queen had the best jump from numbers since the original? Yeah, I forgot how gosh darn amazing Dr. Neocortex is compared to the rest. Even though he has that weird issue like Chompy Mage where Cortex is a sorcerer when he clearly has a gun in his hand, it doesn't hinder him when it comes to his actual moves. Giving us a nostalgia hit where
I think Cortex's battle class makes perfect sense, because he's using sorcery very clearly by having a witch doctor mask. You know, that's just my opinion, but I honestly don't think there's an issue with him being a sorcerer type. Like, I think he's very clearly magical. Like, he's making like he's got a witch doctor mask occupying him. Like, one of his minions like brews potions which can transform you into monsters. The guy literally has wizards as minions in his games. Like, come on now.
When it comes to certain moves in his arsenal, Cortex doesn't let nostalgia keep him back, where his moves are actually really good, and not just there to make you go, oh wow, I remember that, and die almost right afterwards. Now, why isn't he higher up? The Sky Chi. It's still kind of just meh compared to everything else. We can't have it all, can we? Number 12.
Okay, I do think Dr. Neocortex, you could argue being this high up on the list because he has the aerial denial ability. He definitely did put Dr. Neocortex on the bear path, which is quite rare for a Sensei YouTuber. But yeah, the aerial denial is really good because you can basically just shut down enemy ranged attacks completely. As long as you find enemies that rely on ranged attacks, they're significantly less of a threat to you. And he completely shuts down certain Doomlanders if you're into that. He's very good. The only issue I have with Dr. Neocortex is he's very reliant on spamming. Like, you have to spam both the mines and the primary in order to do decent damage with him, which is very problematic.
Pinata. Look at this. The character who got the number 1 in the best trap team villain being at number 12 on this list. It's almost like when we got more, it's shown we needed less. I've always been vocal about the pure fun I've had playing as Pinata throughout both Trap Team and Imaginators, but taking all the things that made Pinata great in Trap Team, giving him similar stuff in Imaginators, but modifying it a tiny bit does work, but I prefer one thing fixed. Luckily, everything else they added makes Pinata so much fun to play as. However, I wish I could explode the Pinatas myself like in Trap Team, but hey, I'll take Pinata and Sombrero any day instead. Works for me.
Yeah, Pinata has a very interesting moveset, but it's pretty basic. Like, you just smash the lollipop, and after you've smashed it enough times, it will explode, and you get like a different effect depending on which lollipop it is. It would be a lot more fun if it was more randomized instead of being a specific order that lollipops appear. It would have made him a much more chaotic character, more interesting in my opinion. But yeah, I don't think Pinata is really that good, to be honest. That's because he's kind of like a one-trick pony. You're just mainly spamming Pinatas and just hoping to target the enemies you need them to target. Yeah, I don't like him that much, but it is what it is.
Number 11.
Another ad. There's a lot of ads in this video, guys. Skip.
Tide Pool. I don't care how many of you will rip me apart in the comments about how bad Tide Pool is, but you are extremely incorrect. Tide Pool is hands down the most overlooked Skylander of the entire franchise. Her ink guns are quick and accurate, and using the whale tail attack to continuously take out enemies around you works for great terrain damage. Being able to slow down certain enemies with the ink bullets is very overpowered too, as when you focus them on a bigger enemy, you can take out the smaller ones around her.
I think he's on the top half of this character. I'm not sure why.
Then head right back into the battle. Give Tide Pool a real chance for once and you will clearly see how fantastic and perfect Tide Pool is, even if her moveset can be a bit flawed in the grand scheme of things. Number 10, Grave.
Yeah, Tide Pool's very good. You can just spam a whale tail ability, and this just pushes the enemies back indefinitely, pretty much. And the whirlpool can like suck them in. But to get the whirlpool, and for the whale tail to be its best, you do need to go on the bottom path which CrashTheSkylands doesn't have her on. I'm not sure why, because the bottom path does way more damage and it has way better abilities in general, but it is what it is. Pena at 10.
Grave Clobber. I've mentioned once or 12 times on this channel that I'm a big wrestling fan, and once I realized Grave Clobber has not only the most strength of the entire franchise, but his entire moveset is based off wrestling moves, oh man, I was excited. Using top rope elbow drops from the geysers or that insanely powerful lariat hit that can hit multiple enemies at once, Grave Clobber is a front runner to win any Royal Rumble match. But sadly, the only Rumble in Skylanders universe is on my channel, and since they took a battle mode after Swap Force, he will never get the chance to win. Regardless, I still think he's the heavyweight champion of the world when it comes to senseis. Besides for the next 9, however. Number 9, Boom.
Okay, so I actually prefer the bottom path with Grave Clobber because I don't like his combos that much. I just feel like they leave him a bit too vulnerable, and I feel like Grave Clobber is a character who's already vulnerable enough in battle. I do like his bottom path though, because it does make his Super Lariat Punch significantly more damaging. And I do rely on this attack the most for dealing damage overall. You do get the little extra waves when you do the tertiary 3 times in a row as well, which is quite useful in situations where you find tons of enemies at once. It just offers you a little bit of extra knockback against these crowds, and that does matter when you're up against like 20 enemies on the screen at once. And you do also get the little tidal pull when you summon in the War Geyser. This ability is next to useless in terms of actual viability, but it is very fun to use. So yeah, but in terms of viability though, it's complete trash because it doesn't actually damage the enemies.
Boom Bloom. Playing as Boom Bloom a second time during Odyssey Half Hour to make sure very overtired me wasn't just losing it, Boom Bloom held its ranking, but made me realize how fantastic she truly is. Even though she is labeled a ninja class, Boom Bloom is insanely unique with her main weapon, the Vine Whip, being a completely different idea than what you normally expect from someone in the ninja class. Boom Bloom also has 2
It's almost like she wasn't meant to be a ninja class character. Yeah, if you didn't know, guys, during development, there was actually meant to be a whip class, but it got scrapped pretty early on, and Boom Bloom was like the only character that was actually fully finished during this time, so they just switched her to the ninja class element. Well, it was actually quite late in development, I suppose, since this character was fully finished at the time. That's why a figure doesn't actually have an ninja symbol on it. It just has a normal life element on it because she's not actually meant to be a ninja. She's somewhat different, right? But because the game works off of 10 battle classes, she needed to have a battle class assigned to her, and this is the one they gave her. Just thought I mentioned that.
Spectacular terrain moves with the Vine and Twine and Spore Seeds, but just her Violent Whip alone has the potential to make her one of the most fun Skylanders you could play as anytime and anywhere. A fantastic Skylander for newer or older players, Boom Bloom is single-handedly worth every penny. Number 8.
Boom Bloom is very, very good. I like Boom Bloom a lot.
Mysticat. I honestly don't care about your opinion on if Mysticat is a boy or a girl. Just know that they are one of the most unique and wild experiences to play as during your time in Imaginators.
Okay, I will. Okay, I'm gonna comment on this anyway. Mysticat is very clearly non-binary.
When you first play as Mysticat, you kind of feel off. They aren't amazing, and their main move is kind of meh, but only a few upgrades later, Mysticat becomes so overpowered in a smaller setting that you guys can't even deny how fantastic everything is about Mysticat. Using the copycat ability to basically triple hit an enemy with any of Mysticat's moves becomes so addictive to play as, and you'll be wanting to give Mysticat so many more opportunities to grow and shine. If you have thrown Mysticat to the side because of your closed-minded ways, How about you open your mind back up and give one of the best senseis a real good second chance?
Okay, I didn't actually talk about it all in this video, but the best part about Mr. Cat is easily his stealth mode. Stealth mode's very powerful. It does the most damage out of all these attacks. He's also on the top half. I don't think the top half's as good as the bottom half. I like the bottom half way more. Because it improves his stealth mode. And the stealth mode is his most broken ability by far. And doing extra damage on the bottom half is honestly very good. But yeah, he's not on that path, unfortunately. I think Mr. Cat, you could argue he could be placed a bit higher than this, but I don't think this is a bad placement for him either.
The official partner of the UFO conference league, Laughing.
Number 7, Barbella. I really don't care that Barbella was number 166 on the list of 167 Skylanders ranked. Barbella has one of the most unique and fun to play as movesets ever, which also mixes with how strong she is. Barbella works great in the spam section, where you can continuously hit reps to take out enemies near or far, and setting up a runic rock to smack around the area while you try to do your basic attack is something you really needed to give a fair try to. When I saw Barbella so long,
I don't know why he's calling her a spammy character. She's not spammy. You need to, I guess she kind of is to a certain extent. But you do need to use all the moves. You do have to be very strategic in how you use her. Like, using like the rocks to fling enemies off at range while also having while also placing down the rocks so they can just do continuous damage against the enemies, and then trying to find an opening so you can do a soul gem ability. You do need to you do need to find these openings in order to do these other abilities besides her primary, and you do need to use these abilities if you want to succeed. So she's not really that spammy. You do need to be very observant to the enemies. Strong, I wouldn't say she's that strong. She's pretty weak, I would say, this character overall. I don't think I had as much difficulty with her as Chopscotch, but she wasn't that much easier to use.
The top 167 Skylanders list, I was very disheartened, as I know how fantastic Barbella is if you give her your time of day, and that's why I couldn't have her waste away any lower than this. Number 6, Chain Reaction.
Yeah, I don't think Barbella's a top 7 character, though. Definitely not.
Okay, pick your jaw up off the floor. I know he was our number 1 entry last time, but man, the next 5 have proven themselves to be insanely great, but in all fairness, Chain Reaction is one of my favorite Skylanders of all time. The fact that his chainsaw hit...
Chain Reaction is also one of the strongest characters in the game as well.
Does multiple damage hits, and setting up his invention move, which is 4 chainsaws spinning in a circle, and they take out every enemy on their way to try to take you out. His Sky Chi is still one of my personal favorites though, as he hops into one of his inventions and drives around taking out enemies on the way. It's very similar to another sensei I'll talk about soon, but with Chain Reaction, it's so much more damaging and still extremely fun. Okay, the shocks are all done now thanks to this one. I don't think my heart could have taken it anymore.
I do have a feeling, guys, he probably did play his Chain Reaction, because he does have him pretty highly placed, and he is on the better path, which is kind of insane. Because I see a lot of people usually picking the lightning combos path, and I honestly don't know why. The path literally has nothing good about it.
Number 5, Starcast. Hey look, foreshadowing came into play. I mentioned in the last entry that a certain Skylander using a rideable ability to take out enemies, but compared to Chain Reaction, Starcast can hop into his Flying Starcer anytime to take out enemies, and literally fly from one section to the other. Not just that, Starcast has some of the best shuriken throws in the franchise, and everything you can do mixing the Megastar surfing ability and switching out to a shadow form makes this Skylander unbelievably fun to give a real try with. every single time you play a StarCast, you can have a crazy experience that is unique from his style and gameplay every single time. Number 4, Wild.
Starcast is very fun to play as. He has a stealth mode too, which is pretty insane. He's not the highest damaging character, but he's still very good.
Storm. Remember ages ago when I said Robo was not worth the money even though he gets an awesome level? Wildstorm is the exact opposite, as it could be the best extra content available throughout Skylanders, because not only do you get a fun Cursed Tiki Temple level, but you also get a dang near perfect Sensei along with it. Wildstorm is insanely powerful.
Alright guys, I have played, I have both Robo and Wildstorm. Honestly guys, I don't think Wildstorm is worth the money. In terms of like the market price, definitely not. I don't think Robo and Wildstorm are really that much different. You know, like you get a new level, and you also do get like a new character. I do really like both Wildstorm and Robo's designs. In terms of which one I think is better, I think Robo's more fun to play as. In terms of design, they're about par for me. In terms of the levels between Cursed Tiki Temple and Lost Imaginite Mines, it's been literally years since I played either. I found Lost Imaginite Mines to have a more fun I thought Lost Imaginite Mines was a bit more fun than Cursed Tiki Temples. But Cursed Tiki Temple definitely has a much better level design in terms of how the level looks. The level looks stunning, really, really good. Both level packs very good. But yeah, if Robo and Wildstorm were the same price, I would consider Robo to be the better value. But because Robo's like a third of the price, Wildstorm's a third of the price, yeah. But if they're both retail price still, like one was like £30 and the other one was £30, which one would I recommend more? Probably the Robo one. But,
Powerful when you first get him, which is wild because once you start leveling him up, he becomes basically unstoppable. As he has a perfect mix of close range with his Storm Strike or Release the Beast abilities, and long range with Lightning Bolt and Uproar, Wildstorm is one of those Skylanders you can use continuously and never feel like he wears out his welcome or makes you feel like you want to try someone else. Wildstorm is pretty dang near perfect, but a few more feel a bit better, in my opinion. Number 3, Taekwon Crow. The Ninja class must have done something right as all 3 members hit the top 10, with Taekwon Crow mere inches away from the very top. Taekwon Crow is such a great mix of moves, with his main shuriken throws doing great distance and damage, then pushing it even further when throwing it through a flame wall kick, and once upgraded, Big Mama appears as you can call a gigantic buzzer beak to use to your advantage, especially in a smaller area like the arena mode. Taekwon Crow is probably the only Skylander I could play through the game 3 different times using only one of the previous 3 moves I mentioned the whole time and have an absolute blast the entire time. Hey, I am semi-retired now. I could easily do that. Maybe I will.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Number 2, Pit Boss.
Taekwon Crow, guys, do I think he's a top 3 character? No. Do I think you could argue he's like top 10? Pretty easily, if you want to. I think his moveset's very good. The only thing I don't like about him is his health. He's super squishy. But, it is what it is. Pit Boss at number 2. Pit Boss is very good.
As I mentioned before, I didn't actually look to see where placements were on the original list, so it wouldn't affect this one, but I do remember Pit Boss was only 1 away from the top, and honestly, nothing has changed. Since the first time I played this pit boss all the way to this very moment, I adore every single time I put the Skylander in the portal, and every time I give him a run through, I find something new and unique about his moveset and how it works with every kind of enemy. It's wild that some enemies get caught on the soul stake and some don't, but they get affected by the Viper pitch you set up earlier, and is such a great use of his abilities. In other news, thanks to you lovely people, I now know Pit Boss is named after the Pit Viper, a snake that looks extremely similar to him and is extremely dangerous. Glad it didn't change the position, this could have became deadly. Number 1, Flare Wolf.
Okay, he didn't say anything bad about Pit Boss. Yeah, I think Pit Boss is very good. He's a very fast Skylander, very powerful range abilities. He's got good close range abilities with the Viper Pits, as well as the Snake, because the Snake will just pick the enemies up and you can kind of just do whatever the hell you want with them then. They're completely helpless. But yeah, Pit Boss is very broken. You could easily argue him this high. Let's see what he's got to say about Flare Wolf. I think this is easily the worst Sensei in the game, but let's see what he's got to say about him.
Anybody here knows me, a perfect mixed Skylander could be the greatest thing to ever exist. When Flare Wolf was first on this list, I said I had to give him a more fair run in the future, and man oh man, I surely did. Flare Wolf has the greatest moveset for every single player to ever exist in the world, as he actually has extremely fun and spam-worthy long-range moves, but when close up, you can cause a literal flamethrower to take out enemies. Speeding from one side of the map to another with...
What the hell did he just say? Let's go back, guys. Let's go back a bit.
Fun and spam-worthy long-range moves, but when close up, overall...
No, let's go back a tiny bit.
I surely did. Flare Wolf has the greatest moveset for every single player to ever exist in the world, as he actually has...
Greatest moveset for every player to ever exist in the world. What glazing is this? Insane glazing. What the hell?
Extremely fun and spam-worthy long-range moves, but when close up, you can cause a literal flamethrower to take out enemies. Speeding from one side of the map to another with his Ride the Rocket move works great to get back into every fight, and his Soul Gem where he launches a giant rocket in the shape of his head makes Chaos look lame in comparison. Flare Wolf is honestly one of the best overall Skylanders, and if this truly is the end of releasing new Skylanders, they gave us hands down one of the best for last. And that's my list. Who's your...
Hey guys, did you notice that in some videos, like he was doing the game on Nightmare mode, and then on some of them he switched the difficulty down to beginner? You know, like I saw him. He was obviously playing on Nightmare mode for Crash Bandicoot, but for Flare Wolf he was playing with on beginner difficulty. And low key, Flare Wolf was still struggling. That's funny. That's really funny. Flare Wolf sucks ass, bro. By the way, he sucks. He's terrible. He's terrible. I will never defend Flare Wolf in my life. He's so bad. But yeah, that was the video. CrashTheSkylands. Overall thoughts on this tier list, guys. Some placements were good. I would say about 40% of the placements were good. That leaves 60% of the placements being just outright bad or wrong. Or he just didn't really talk about a lot in the video. Or he just didn't explain the character, why they're placed in whatever position very well. But yeah, after I've done this live stream, I will have the video link in the description, guys, if you want to check out the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. I will have also a link to my tier list if you guys want to check that out, and and make a reaction to my tier list and how terrible it is, because it probably is. You guys can make like a 5-hour or 6-hour or 7-hour stream where you tear apart my 3-hour long video. But yeah, that was that. I'll try and make more videos in the future, guys.